Chat, what's up? YouTube, what's up? We are here now for the Needed Podcast. This is episode number 4. And today we got a lot of things to talk about. Nothing too crazy happening in the Madden community. There's been a lot of uproar about the patches. Obviously, people frustrated with how the game's change. And, that seems to happen. It's been happening for the last 3 years now. That's pretty much been the only thing really happening this week in the competitive Madden community. So we could talk about that a little bit, but also we're going to go ahead and talk about the next club series that's coming up this weekend, and that's going to be the Houston Texans, man. I mean, we just got over, we talked about the Arizona Cardinals club series. We got the ability to watch that, go over those games, what was impressive to me, what was impressive to you guys. It was all something we could talk about and really review. But because the Minnesota Vikings ones got postponed, we were not able to review that. That's one we're looking forward to, but it will come down the line. I don't know if they announced when that will be. I'm not sure myself, but the next one is the Houston Texans. I mean, the Houston Texans was, I want to say the Texans were one of the original 8 to have a club series, or maybe not. I'm really not sure. I don't remember too well, even if they had a big live event last year. But there's definitely some names in this club series that I'm looking forward to see. Some names that us in the Twitch community know, and us in the YouTube and the Twitter Madden community know, and also some younger ones that I've been impressed by that are coming up and get their first chance to get to a live event, get somewhere with the cameras on them, and they're on the EA Madden Twitch, and all the people are there looking for drops or watching them play Madden. And let's take a look at the names that are going to be there, because Madden League Ops is able to post these beautiful things for us. And this is what we got now. Shoot. Obviously, the big names here that I know. Joe Rice, the Squid Man. Joe Rice probably, leaderboard-wise, he was probably the best player early in the year on salary cap, like the first month or so. And Joe Rice, obviously, I want to claim the fact that I gave Joe Rice his fame. I'm saying, because before me, nobody knew who Joe Rice was. Nobody knew who Wesley was. But because in Draft Champions, after I had already been eliminated, me and my buddy Skimbo, we came up with a master plan to allow Joe Rice to win so we keep stick work out of the playoff bracket. Back then, when you played groups, 2 people made it out and 2 people went home. I was already eliminated, so I said, you know what, I'm going to let Joe Rice win. I'm going to let him have his fame, let him have his fun. Also, remove a player's stick work who was giving Skimbo hell at the time when I was playing Joe Rice. So it was just a way that after I was already eliminated, I couldn't advance any further. Just a way to, make my buddy's path a little bit easier. Also give some fame to Joe Rice, man. And he really took it and ran with it. And, he's become a great Madden player. From back then, it was like, who the hell is this kid, this little scrawny little kid with the goofy smile? But he really has become a lot better than he was then. And I'm interested to see him play again on the big stage, because last year, obviously, he had a disappointing year, probably to all our standards, especially his. I know he expected more of himself from last year. So this will be his first chance to go ahead on a big stage. Obviously, probably the favorite coming out of this Texans Club Series. And my man Bobby. My man Bob Marley, probably, he's been in the Twitch chat as long as I've been in the Twitch chats. Definitely a man player that knows what he's doing. Great Fortnite player. He's carried me to many of the W's in Fortnite. But he's definitely one of the players that definitely knows what he's doing. So that'll be interesting. Also, we got CJ on the other side, and I believe that's Casanta is the 4th player that made it to Texans Club. I know CJ is good. I know I've talked to CJ a lot, and he's actually went to one of my boot camps I had early in the year in Washington, D.C. So we definitely picked his brain a little bit. Madden definitely knows what he's doing. So between him, Casanta's been another Twitch chat guy that's been there forever and knows Madden, watch a lot of it. Bob and Joe Rice is definitely going to be a group that I'm interested to see. We're going to see how the Texans put on for their club series. I know, the Arizona one was crazy. Being able to be on the field and in the stadium and play Madden there is really awesome. It's a great experience. So I'm going to see what the Texans do, man. I've been to a lot of club series events. They've all been really dope. I mean, I went to the Redskins when Ghost won, and that was in like some club level super section in the stadium. Went to the Jets when Don't Care About Ice won. That was up in another area where you're just in the stadium. It's really cool. So we'll see what the Texans do this weekend. I believe their stadium is called Reliance Stadium. I believe that's what it is. So we'll see. I mean, the Texans, as far as Texans in real life, the Texans are really cooking with gas right now. I believe they won 5 games in a row. And they're really moving along pretty well in the season. So we'll see who can come up on top. Obviously, like I said, Joe Rice is probably without a doubt the favorite. But we'll see what these other guys have to offer. I mean, I'm pretty sure the only one I've seen, obviously, Bob's been there. I talked about Joe Rice having that great run in D.C. In Madden 17. But those are the only 2 I really remember being at a live event, making a live event. So there's definitely a step for everybody. It's going to be fun in the club series to see all these new faces make these live events, because it's easy to play Madden at home. It's easy to play in front of nobody in your draws and not have to worry about what people think about you, man. Even people that don't stream. I mean, streaming is one thing when you gotta have a bunch of people watching you, a bunch of people judging you how you play. Now you're gonna be on the big stage with the lights in your face and thousands of people watching you. How are you gonna perform? Are you gonna fold? Are you gonna look bad? So we'll see what it does. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, Joe Rice the favorite. Hopefully he goes ahead and makes another run like he did in D.C. 2 years ago, because I know he's prepared for it. I know he's played a lot of Madden. My man Wesley, we'll see if he can get out of here. The Texans Club Championship Series. The Texans, you got to start thinking about who makes this, who are they going to play next. In the division, you got to go with the Colts. I don't know who's going for Colts Club Series. Pretty wide open Colts. Jaguars, that's pretty wide open too. It's been different winners each year. I believe Wild won last year. And rest in peace, True Boy won the first year. And then who's the other team? Colts, Jaguars, Texans, and the Titans. There we go. Rest in peace to Spot Me. The Titans, that's going to be wide open. I believe Hollywood, my guy Hollywood, actually said he was going to play for the Titans for Spot Me. So that's definitely two teams that's going to remind you of our guys that we lost. So that's the AFC South for you. We'll see this. I believe it's this weekend, or it's the 5th. Or I don't really know exact date when this is going to jump off. But we're definitely prepared to watch this. It's the next club series, and I'm ready for it. So make sure you guys tune in. Hopefully I'll have some great plays to break down. Probably a lot of bunch we'll be watching, especially out of Joe Rice. Probably Bob, too. I don't know what the other guys are running, but we'll find out, man. Trips tight end is really swooping the nation right now. It's to the point where it's kind of transitioning, I would say. Trips tight end is the new meta rather than bunch. Just because it has, I kind of want to say it has bigger plays in it, or more unguardable plays. And it also has play action. So we'll see if any of these guys are going to implement the trips tight end scheme as opposed to just straight bunch. That's something we're going to be looking for. How fast does the meta turn from bunch to trips tight end, and how long does it take? Now, we saw in the first club series, Arizona, I believe. I know Lil Burke was running trips tight end, and Trey was running trips tight end. So 2 out of the 4 people were running trips tight end. So we'll see this weekend if it's still going to be bunch heavy or if we're going trips tight end, because that's kind of the wave I've been seeing a lot in the Twitch streams, seeing a lot on the leaderboard. So definitely something I'm going to go ahead and keep my mind on. But that's Saturday. Definitely be ready to watch that. So make sure you guys are there. We'll talk about it next week, review it all. The next big thing that happened this last week, obviously, is the Muthead League. I mean, I think we're on season 6, I want to say. 6 or 7. The Muthead League has been an opportunity to you guys all know Muthead. If you don't know Muthead, I mean, I don't think there's someone in the chat or on YouTube that, knows me but doesn't know Muthead. Muthead is probably the best site for all your MUT information, whether it be what team you want to make, what card you want to see, and the forums. I used to post on the forums all the time. Now, I mean, it's a lot of guys that talk about, the pro players are just cheesers and stuff like that. So I don't really go on the forums as much as I used to, but It's definitely a great site that really a lot of people use for MUT. Not only look at their teams, but look at every new card that comes out. When Team of the Week comes, I'm refreshing Muthead like this every 10 minutes. Like, I want to see what the Team of the Week is. So I know you guys use Muthead. And the great thing that Muthead's done, I know Rockets at Muthead is a huge competitive Madden fan, along with Zan too, who works a lot for Muthead. They're huge competitive Madden fans, and they're trying to do as much as they can for competitive Madden. And it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. And the Muthead League has been awesome, man. It's a great way for you guys to watch the best Madden players in the world. You know, the guys with the big reputation, the guys you want to see on the stage, the guys you want to watch. And the one thing I love about the Muthead League is that it rewards, you know, the next league. If you did good in the previous league, you're just going to be instantly into the next league. Also, they implemented a system where, okay, let's say the top 5 players, you know, they advance to the next season because they play so well. Now the bottom 10 guys, now you got to play play for your spot back. And they don't give you a one-game playoff. They don't, you know, test your fate to just one game of Madden, because we all know anybody can win one game of Madden. Shoot, look at Joe Rice. I mean, he beat me in Madden. So that's just how you know anybody can win one game of Madden. So to really look at it, they give you three-game series, man. And a 3-game series is really what we can ask for as Madden players. I know a lot has been said about 5 games and 7 games, but 3 games is pretty much as you can go. Where if someone beats you 2 out of 3, I mean, you got to tip your cap to them. There's no real fluke. Someone gets fluky 2 out of 3 games, I mean, it's just not meant to be. So they give you a chance to play your way in for your spot in the Muthead League, and that's something that I really think is awesome because, you know, not only do you still have the bottom 10 players from the league, or still great players, but now you probably got the next 10 guys that are up, the next 10 great players, and they're going to have their opportunity to get into the league. And it's definitely something that we love to watch. And as a Twitch streamer, I love it because it makes Twitch that much more interesting, man. You guys really open your eyes when the 2 great players are playing, man. Obviously, you can watch us play anybody, but when you play somebody else that's your caliber, that's when you guys really watch and you really tune in. So the Muthead League is something that really gives us the opportunity to do that. And the names in this league is pretty crazy. I mean, it's pretty much... I mean, you have no doubt that these guys are the top Madden players in the world. I actually do have the list somewhere here. Let me see what I got here. Here it is. Boom. Can we see that, Andre? This is the list. I don't know if y'all can see it if you're on your phone, if you're on your laptop, whatever it may be. This is the email I was emailing Rockets about it. I said, Rockets, can you send me the list? Because if you guys watched my Twitch or you watch my YouTube, I played this weekend to get into the Muthead League, and I was able to beat Carey, the Deuce Close specialist, to get in the Muthead League. I was able to beat him 2 out of 3 games. Both of those games are on my YouTube, so if you're here now, you can go ahead and check those out below. I hope you guys did watch them live, though, on the Twitch chat. You can check that link out below in the description. But like I said, Serious Mo, obviously the top 5 Madden player of all time. And he's won this 3 times in a row. That's pretty crazy, because it's hard with the amount of competition that's been in the Muthead League. For him to win 3 times really says a lot about how well he's been playing and how he's used this opportunity to really make some money and really make a name for himself. Obviously he's already had a name for himself, but even last year when he had an off, we talked about Joe Rice had an off year last year. Mo had an off year last year. And the way the MCS is designed, it's not hard to have an off year. You lose 1 game or 2 games in the wrong spot, boom, all of a sudden you have an off year. So it's just been a great way for him to just keep popping, and he's won 3 times in a row. It's pretty impressive. Also, you have 4 other guys. We just talked about Joe Rice being in Texans Club Series. Here he is. He auto-qualified because of how well he did in Season 6, I believe. I think this is Season 6 or 7. So I'm not really sure. It's 6 or 7, but Joe Rice made it. Boom. We just talked about him being one of the best players early in the year in Madden 18. Blocky, obviously, you guys know Blocky, the Dolphins Club Series champion last year. Ultimate League participant last year. Strafen, Ryan Robb, you see him, the Minnesota Vikings Club champion. Runner-up, though, I forgot my man went gold popped him. I'm talking about Madden 17 Vikings Club Series champion. So that's Strafen, Blocky, Joe Rice, Drenny, and Serious Mo. So right there you have 2 belts between Serious Mo and Drenny. You have Joe Rice, who obviously is in the Texans Club Series now, made another live event in D.C. Blocky, who won the Miami Dolphins Club Series, made the Ultimate League. Then you also have Strafen, who won a Minnesota Vikings Club Series in Madden 17, made the Madden Championship in Madden 17. So all 5 of these guys have really been around and really have accomplished a lot in Madden. Then we talk about the people that have won the qualifying rounds. We got Canes. Now, Canes, he used part-time streamer. He used to stream 4 years ago, before it was cool to stream. Now he don't stream anymore, but obviously he's part of Top Madden. Always knowing what he's doing, always been good, and he is the only person that beat me in Madden Bowl Madden 17. Everybody else from Jet to Hollywood to Skimbo and Problem himself, I popped all them, but Canes was the guy that beat me. The Madden 17, he was the main person that had my number. I swear I beat everybody else. But Canes in Madden 17 for some reason popped me in Madden 17. So Canes always known what he's doing. Been a great Madden player for a long time now. And he's part of that. If you're in a crew like that, I mean, you always want to be one of the top-notch competitors because your friends will always help you if you have a question and vice versa. I won, like I told you, Carrie. I am the best Madden player in the world, so you'll get to watch me pop all these other guys. So make sure you tune in for that. We also have Joke, Echo Fox Joke. I mean, Browns Club Series champion. I mean, he's not that great of a player because he had to choose the Browns to win a club championship, but I still salute the club championship. But he's definitely one of the most accomplished Madden players, and we're talking about Joke being one of the most accomplished Madden players since he was a little kid. I'm not talking a little like 17, 18. I'm talking like a little baby kid, like 14, 13. So, like I said, Joke's been around forever. Shift God Cole. Now, Shift God Cole, that's my guy, but he's really not good. He just had the fortunate opportunity to play Stiffmeister to get in, so it was kind of like, here you go, Cole. We just going, I'm saying? You need your opportunity to show your scheme, show some of your run stick. That Cole swears he has the best run stick in the world. Me, myself, I mean, I think it's a little bit overrated, but we'll have a chance to see what Shift God Cole got for the big stage, man. No, Cole's really an awesome guy, man. I really wish he streamed more because he's probably one of the funniest guys in the community, man. So we'll definitely see what he has on this type of stage. I want to say this is his first Muthead League, but we'll see what he got, man. But like I said, they really gave him a layup playing Stiffmeister. Stiffmeister go straight from weekend league to playing salary cap competitive, just like that. There's no in between for Stiffmeister. He's just straight from weekend league, boom. Now I'm in a competitive Madden, and it's kind of wild. But we'll see what Cole got, man. T. Davis, we talked a whole podcast last week about T. Davis. So, boom, now we're going to get to see him play all these other guys. We talked about how good he looked, all the route combinations he used. We talked about his defense, especially against K-Mac. He had a plan. So we'll get to see him in the Muthead League. So hopefully I'll get to play all these guys. Beast Mode Mac. We talk about another belt, another Madden champion. Once you're a Madden champion, they can never take it from you, and Beast Mode Mac is here. So that's already 4 belts between me, Mo, Drenny, and Beast Mode. That's 4 belts that are in here already. Drag, Old Man Drag. Also, video of me playing Drag. Check out my videos below. You can go ahead and find me versus Drag. We played a couple great games. Drag has been in the community longer than Dirt, so knows what he's doing. Part of EMB with Joke and Ghost and Musafa. So he's always going to be prepared. And then we got Chaos. Chaos is probably one of the best players early in the year. He's pretty much the reason why people are going from bunch to trips tight end, man. He's made it look so good that people really want to run it. People really want to attack defenses the way he does. And obviously he had a lot of success last year running trips tight end before anybody else was really. So he's going to be he's going to be in the Muthead League because I don't know who he beat. I wish I knew who these people beat. I didn't know who they were matched up with. I didn't pay too much attention to it. Once they told me my opponent, that was my business more so than anybody else. And then to be determined, my man Bugs got to play Pavon. I know Ghost lost to Shakobi, so Shakobi is going to be in the Muthead League. Shakobi is a person that's always right there. He just can never put it together. Even in the games when he plays, he can never put it all the way together, but he put it together against Ghost. I was actually able to watch a couple of those games, and he played good defense, man. He really had Ghost. Ghost, who I will be the first to tell you, I think is one of the better offensive players in the whole world. Jacoby had him looking a little sweet out there. So, also, I saw Jacoby with the Ricky Williams. I'm going to be honest, man. If you guys know me, I don't want to play against Ricky Williams. I had to play against Wham and Eddie George with Kerry. So, I'm afraid of Ricky Williams. I don't want to see him. So, I saw Jacoby giving him the ball, trucking and spinning and trucking and spinning. And he was able to upset Ghost. So, Jacoby beat Ghost to get in. And I know Joel beat Safa to get in. So, those two matchups are done between Jacoby beating Ghost and Joel beat Musafa. So, that's a hit for EMB. Both them EMB guys are out. I don't know if when Boogs is going to play Pavon. I heard Pavon was a replacement. Boogs was scheduled to play somebody else, and then they brought Pavon. Pavon, who's another young up-and-coming man player that's really good, that's just waiting for a break in one of these events. And we'll see if he can beat the OG Boogs, my guy, the grass-eating, smoothie-drinking guy, to get in the Muthead League. So, I mean, this is just a crazy amount of talent in the Muthead League. Hopefully, we'll be playing for a lot of money and Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. I'm not sure who the sponsor is, but we'll definitely have fun with it. And it's good to see all these. And the thing about the Muthead League is that it makes all these scared, hiding Madden players stream. All these guys I don't want to show my bunch flipped. I don't want to show my A-gap blitz. I don't want to show my trips tight end. Now they got to show it all. So it gives you guys an opportunity to really see what most of these other great Madden players are doing that you don't necessarily always get to watch. So that'd be a treat for Twitch. It will definitely help out Twitch. Excuse me. So that's something we're looking forward to. I'm ready to see the schedule. I'm ready to really get it cracking. It'll probably start next week, this week, or I don't know when it'll start. But hopefully we figure out that last matchup between Bugs and Pavon, and we get this league cracking this week, or worst case scenario next Monday. I'll be excited for it. So I hope you guys check it out, man. Like I said, it's probably the best man players in the world. How many people are in this thing? 16? 12? Some number of great man players. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11? Oh, plus 5, 16. There we go, 16. I don't know why Kiv isn't in the Muthead League. I mean, Kiv is, I think he's too good. They think they're too good, like Skimbo and Kiv. Like, for some reason, they think they're too good to play with us other Madden players and really promote the game of Madden. To me, it just seems that they don't really care about the community. And it's cool, you know, we all talk about the growth of Madden. Madden with, like, its biggest stars to play, you know, on Twitch. But, you know, Kiv got better things to do, like, you know, fix his hair and go shopping for his Louis Vuitton man purse. I guarantee Kiv has a man purse. They're, like, hot now because I realize that they all have, like, the bag, the satchel. Like, Kiv is definitely shopping for satchels rather than playing in the Muthead League. It's pretty crazy. So, that's the Muthead League. So, we'll be ready next week to really get that pop and really set it off. If I got to pick my favorite other than myself, because I really think I'm probably the best man player in the world. I'll continue to tell you guys. But, I mean, you got to go with Mo. I mean, 3 times in a row, it becomes a pride thing. Like, I don't want anybody else to win this. That's pretty much how it's been. Like, this is my league. This is my site. This is my league. So, and I know he has that mentality. I know he's going to come to play. So, we'll see. If I told you who is the worst player in this, who is the worst player? I mean, Jacoby. It's got to be Jacoby. I mean, I love you, Tyler, but on this list, you have to be the worst player. So that's kind of how I'm. And what does that say about Ghost? Ghost, man, what have you done for me lately? You won 1 belt. You got popped in Ultimate League. You got popped by Jacoby. Hassan, my guy. We got to step it up a little bit. All right, buddy? I mean, I know you won the belt. You started eating good. You know, you felt good about yourself. Now we got to bring it back. We got to get back on the ball here, Hassan. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to go Jacoby's the worst. And then I don't know where I'd rank the rest. We got Beast Mode, Drag, Joke, T. Davis. This is a lot of EMB. I really need Bugs to win, man. I have no, like, there's just me. Like, I don't. And what's cool about a league play, honestly, and this happened in Ultimate League, man. It's Ultimate League was so crazy because all them games happen in 2 days. Where this is like a week. This is weeks. You might play 2 games a week. So if all the games happen in 1 day, you're constantly playing games. So people's records are constantly changing, and the records are right next to you. And you start realizing, I need this guy to lose so I make the playoffs. Because when you're in regular season, as most NFL teams are, all the NFL teams are now, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But if you're in the regular season, you're pretty much your whole goal is, how can I get to the playoffs? And this is how the league works, right? So week 1 go by, hey fellas, what's up? How you? Hey, what's up? I'm glad you're here. Blah. Week 1, bang, everybody's 1-0, 0-1, whatever. Next week, people are 1-1, 2-0, 0-2. Week 3, 3-0, 2-1, 1-2, 0-3. You start looking as we're sitting in the waiting room. We start looking, oh man, that guy over there, man, he's 0-3. If he gets out and that other guy gets out, I'm going to make the playoffs by default. And that's all I want to do is make the playoffs. I just want my chance to win. That's pretty much how it was. And I was there kind of, and this is where Madden kind of gets, Madden is clicky to begin with. But in a room like that, it gets real clicky. And it gets to the point where it's pretty much, what can I do for myself? And you really start working with other people, and you really start, helping other people. So we saw, all right, Tweez kind of getting his ass kicked. Tweez, he started off hot, right? But then we saw he was like 2-3. And then it's like, everybody looks around the room like, damn, so we're going to count Tweez out. Okay, cool. That means we just need to knock somebody else out. So we got to make sure we beat Tweez. We got to make sure Tweez goes 0-10. So, us man players being the scumbags we are, come over here like, yo, what did you run against Tweez? How'd you box him? And Joke, the biggest scum of them all, is just running around like, yo, just run cover 3 cloud on him. He doesn't know what to do. It's really not that hard. And me, being scum number 2, okay, Joke, that sounds great. So Joke helped me beat Tweez, so on and so forth. So now you start looking at Tweez. Oh, Tweez is all the way out, right? So Tweez damn near quit. And the crazy part about Tweez is Tweez was by himself. Like, he ain't have none of his homies with him. Now, I didn't have none of my homies, but you know me. I'm going to just weasel my way in. First of all, I feel like most everybody in the community is my friend. But I'm going to find my way to kind of, pick a little knowledge from this guy or that guy. Whereas Tweez was by himself and he was chilling. So it wasn't like he had Wild or he had Cole or he had Scheming with him and be like, yo, let's do this, let's work on that, let's stop this guy. It was pretty much Joke like, yo, just run cover 3 cloud on Tweez. And boom. Everybody ran, literally from like week 3 to week 10, all Tweez saw was cover 3 cloud. And I tell you, he was just like a deer in headlights. And he like lost every game. So that was cool. Boom. So now Tweez is out. So damn, we just need to knock one more player out for playoffs. Chaos was already 0-3. So we're like, shit, if we can knock out Chaos, Tweez already out. Damn. So what happened? Here comes Joke. You know how he kind of waddled around? He was, what's up? Joke was like, yo, Dubby, this all you got to do. Run 1-4-6 flipped. Just put Ronnie Lott in the hook curl, shade down, alert the right side. Chaos going to have no idea what to do. I said, all right, Joke, you know what? I'll do that. Do that. Boom. Chaos did not pass the 50-yard line when I played him. So, there you go. So, let you know, listen, Joke is a good person to have on your side because he will do whatever he can to make sure he make the playoffs or his friends make the playoffs. So, he pretty much, so that, well, my point is in a league play, you start game planning for certain people and you start helping people beat the people you need knocked out. So in here in the Muthead League, if we get to week 6 and all of a sudden I see Jacoby's 2-4, or I see, Canes is 1-5, or I see Joe Rice is 0-6, something like this. And it's like, and all of a sudden I got to play him. I don't want to lose. The biggest fear in the league is losing to the guy that's 0-6. You don't want to lose to that guy. Everybody done kicked his ass. You don't want to lose to that guy. So that's probably one of the most nerve-wracking games. And funny do we hear, Chaos, I believe, was 0-6, 0-7 when he actually beat Problem in the league, in the Ultimate League. So that was definitely something. While you're sitting there in the back of the league, like, damn, shit, man. Chaos 0-5. Damn, he 0-6. I don't want to play. I think I played him when he was 0-6. Bro, that we were scared. Like, bro, nobody. He's going to get one win. He's going to get somebody. We was also like, he's going to get somebody because he's obviously not that bad if he's in Ultimate League. So my point being is that when you're in a league and you see somebody doing bad, man, it's pretty much kick him while he's down. I mean, you can't be mad. I mean, listen, we're all grown men. This are the top man players in the world, man. If you're going to be down, you're going to be down. And when I look at this list and we see 4 EMBs, thank God Safa and Ghost left because that would have been 6 EMBs out of 16. They're going to gang up on us. You know, they're going to say, Dubby running some stupid-ass offense, just cover Gurley and you'll be good. You know, and they'll all kind of gang, they'll all work together. You know, meanwhile, I'm sitting here, I mean, I don't have a soul to talk to, you know. But that's why the league play kind of adds a little bit different dimension into Madden. That's what people like about, you know, whatchamacallit, CFMs. It was always, I used to play CFMs a lot, especially before the MCS. I would play with some good players. Shout out to Funk. Timeout. Let me reframe that. The good player and Funk was not directly together. Funk was more of the CFM guy. The good players were the other people in the league. Funk was just the person in the league that kind of introduced me to the league, but he wasn't who I refer to as a good player. If you know Funk, he's not good, but I think Funk is 48, and he's a Madden player for life. And he's, I mean, obviously one of the OGs in the entire community. And when I talk about community, I talk about old-ass community. I'm talking about, like, Madden on PlayStation community type guys. But it just adds a different dimension. So make sure you guys really pay attention to to how the league breaks down, how the schedules go, how people's records go. And obviously we have the podcast. We're going to talk about what happens. I believe it's 2 games a week. So we'll be able to break down who won, where everybody's going. Hopefully I can make the playoffs because, like I said, when you're in the regular season, all you want to do is make the playoffs. That's pretty much all I want to do. Make the playoffs, make a couple thousands of dollars would be very nice. But the streams will be popping. The streams will be fun. Hopefully you're there. Get your gambles in, man, because that's really what you Madden guys like to do. So that's the Muthead League, man. I'm really excited about it. We're going to get it popping. And last, like I said, speaking of leagues, we got to go into Week 8 of the NFL. Week 8 of the NFL was different than any other because the Eagles played at 9 a.m. I believe I was up playing the game till like 3 a.m. Set the alarm. Boom. I wake up. Bang. 9 a.m. The Eagles are on. Now, this was a different experience because I watched the entire game laying in bed. But it was good to see the Eagles. I swear I've been on this podcast one week. I say after they cracked the Giants, which the Giants are the worst team in the NFL, I thought they were back. The Jags are a downward spiral right now, but I still know the Jaguars have a lot of talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And the Eagles' offense looked good. Carson Wentz looked good. Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz looked good. Lane Johnson got hurt. That's going to be a blow. Pause. And but we'll see. 4-4. Just traded for Golden Tate today. Excited to add Golden Tate to Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, people that can really make plays, and that's pretty much what Carson Wentz needs, and I'm excited to see how that's going to work. We're 4-4. It's pretty much going to be how many times can we beat the Redskins? Those 2 games are huge. We win those 2 games, we win the division. We split them, we're going to have to beat some other teams. But it's going to come down to how you do in your division, as most divisional races do. Like, how you win your division pretty much goes down to how you play in the division. And we're 1-0 in the division, still have 5 games to go. That's what's going to come down to. And also, because the Eagles played the early game, it was pretty wild because I got to watch every other game. I got to watch Red Zone from 1 p.m. till the end of the Aaron Rodgers and Ty Montgomery fumbling at kickoff. God bless his heart. So I watched them there every game, and I'll be honest to tell you the games were pretty pitiful this weekend, especially the 1 o'clock games. I believe it was only, I forget, the only game I really thought came down to the wire was Fitzmagic coming back against, who was frying them? Somebody was frying Fitzmagic and them, the Cincinnati Bengals. They were in Cincinnati. Fitzmagic came back in the game. Boom. Started popping because Jameis, I think, I've said it before, I believe they should have kept Fitzmagic. But they went back to Jameis. He threw 4 interceptions. I started him in fantasy. I don't know who you guys started. But Jameis definitely threw 4 picks in the first half, or I want to say the first 3 quarters. Put Fitzpatrick back in. He went off, brought him back, tied the game, got the 2-point conversion. Andy Dalton went right down the field. That was probably the best game of the 1 o'clock games. The Bengals came up with that win. It's going to be tough. Do I think the Bengals can win that division? I mean, Big Ben is looming. Man, I guess it's going to come down to them. I don't know if they played yet. I wish I knew my facts. I wish I was an NFL historian, but I don't think they played yet. Chat, did the Bengals and the Steelers play yet this season? Because if not, that's pretty much who it's going to come down to. Although the Ravens are 4-4. Tough loss when they missed the extra point over there. Who were they playing when they played the Saints? Missed the extra point. That was a tough loss. They got popped this weekend by the Carolina Panthers. I'll show you a clip from that game later in Carolina Panthers and Ravens. So the Ravens are 4-4. The Bengals have been playing pretty decent, and you know the Steelers are going to be. That's going to be a tight division race. But that was the best 1 o'clock game. The best 4 o'clock game was the Rams and the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers started out hot, but then the Rams, I mean, between Sue and Donald, and that defense really started getting after him and really made him work. And the Rams, I mean, I think you got to put the Chiefs and the Rams as the 2 best teams, obviously, in the NFL. The Rams have to be the best team in the NFL. They are undefeated. And as far as the Chiefs and the Rams, I mean, it's hard to tell whose offense is better. Way different offenses. The Rams are they're probably the team that goes under center the most still. Have the best running attack in the game with Le'Veon Bell being out. I mean, I think we all got to just give Todd Gurley the fact he's the best running back in the NFL. He has an astronomical amount of touchdowns. I think he's up to 15, 16 touchdowns halfway through the season. That's like LaDainian Tomlinson type numbers. So I feel like you got to go with Gurley as the best running back in the game. Their offensive line is playing outstanding. Jared Goff is playing good. Their coach is really on top of things. The coach makes a huge difference. And the thing that separates the Rams from the Saints, from the Chiefs, and from the Patriots is the Rams have a defense. The Rams have impact players on their defense, and you can't say the same about those other teams. And we all know defense. They say defense wins championships, and I mean it's true. You know, when defense travels, it looks like the Rams will never have to travel, but the defense in the running game travels, and I think that is what the Los Angeles Rams have is a defense and a running game. That's the old adage of football, man. A defense and running game can really travel. They really can win games. They really can dictate games. Whereas obviously Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and Gronk and Edelman and Brady and Patrick Mahomes are amazing. Are they going to be able to wear a team out? Are they going to be able to pound the ball, control the clock? Are they going to be able to play defense like the Los Angeles Rams? That's pretty much what the season is developing into. And we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'd like the Eagles to, get it rolling a little bit here. You know, string together a couple wins, not a win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. That got to get on a roll here. We want a bye week, come out with Dallas, boom. Sunday night, we saw a game between the Vikings and the Saints. And to me, when stepping back from that game, you realize just how much better the Saints are than the Vikings. I mean, Saints are rolling. They got popped in the mouth the first game against the Tampa Bay Bucks. I don't think they lost since, and I can't wait. I believe this week we get Rams, Saints. I believe we get that. That's going to be a great game. I want to say they played last year towards the end of the season in Los Angeles. Drew Brees versus Jared Goff. that's a game definitely going to be tuned into, one of the best games of the year, and that's the way the NFC shaping up. Between the Saints are going to get a first round bye, and the Rams are going to get a first round bye on home field, unless of course the Saints go ahead and beat the Rams. Now the Saints have the same record, but the Saints have the tiebreaker. So honestly, as the Eagles fan, it's looking like if we're going to go back to the Super Bowl, we're going to have to go on the road. I would much rather go to Los Angeles, because I know the New Orleans, the Superdome is a huge home field advantage, where Los Angeles is not a home field advantage. Not yet, at least. They put a couple seasons together of winning consistently. I think the fan base will really grow in LA, but New Orleans, that's a serious home field advantage. As far as the AFC, I mean, Patrick Mahomes still rolling. Brady's still rolling. Saw Brady last night on Monday Night Football. God bless ESPN for putting the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. I mean, I guess every team's entitled to a home field or a home Monday Night Football game, but I don't know who made that decision to put the Buffalo Bills, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch a snap of that Buffalo Bills game. God bless, but you know, Brady's always worth the watch, so if you want to put the Bills on, you might as well put them on with Brady. So that was week 8. I mean, I want the Eagles to get rolling. Bye week, come out, Dallas, got to get a win. Now, that brings me to the segment I've been talking to you guys about, man. What would a Madden player do? It's 2 different things I want to talk about. One's a quick one that I wish I had all the highlights for, but the NFL doesn't show highlights of, like, incomplete passes and things like that. But that's the one. Let me show you guys. This is actually the Ravens and the Panthers. Is pretty much the first game I want to show you guys. The second one is we're going to talk about 2-point conversion again. But this is the Ravens and the Panthers. Now, this just I tweeted about this. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you can go ahead and I tweet about the games, because I was able to watch all these 1 o'clock games because the Eagles played early in the morning while you're eating breakfast. Now, this just drove me crazy because, okay, what we have here is we have 7-21. The Panthers are up 2 touchdowns. This is the first half of the game. It's like, okay, so they're in their own territory. They're not in field goal range. They're not close to field goal range. And what you're going to see here, you're going to see a little dot over a big dot, I guess, boom, over the middle, caught. Now, what happens is Carolina uses their timeout. Now, this is the play they didn't show you. The ball wound up around midfield, and the Carolina Panthers had no timeouts. It was about 8 seconds. And the Ravens dropped every defensive player because, one, they know Cam has to throw the ball. He can't sit back there all day because the clock's going to run out. Carolina's designing a play to go to the sideline. We talked about this in the first What Would a Man Player Do? Carolina's designing a play to go to the sideline. That's the only way they can stop the clock. They do not have enough time to throw the ball in the middle of the field, because if they throw the ball in the middle of the field, the clock will run out. They won't be able to kick their field goal. So what the Panthers did, or what the Ravens did, was they literally dropped every single player. Now, if there's some Ravens fans in the chat or some Ravens fans watching on YouTube, man, you guys have to remember this play unless you gave up because your team was getting blown out. But the Ravens dropped every player. Literally, they didn't rush a soul. 18 seconds, and Cam had nowhere to throw. He looked around, and threw the ball away because he knows the clock is going to run out. You got to realize Cam, I mean, he's not Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees, but he's smart enough to realize I can't hold the ball too long because I still want to get this field goal. So they did that. They literally dropped every single person. And damn, people, and I'm looking, I was so excited because that's exactly what I would do as a Madden player. There's no reason to rush the quarterback here. Maybe rush 2 people, 3 people at the most. There's no reason to try to get pressure because you know this team is attacking the sideline. You know that they have to get out of bounds and they have to throw the ball quickly or the clock will run out. So it's going to be 2, 3, maybe at the most 5 seconds of guarding the sideline and the ball will be thrown out of bounds. So you take all 11 players, guard the sideline so the ball can't be thrown out of bounds, and Cam will throw the ball away, and you get yourself into a Hail Mary situation, or they can't do anything. So what the Ravens do, they do that, and they don't show the highlight because it wasn't a highlight because Cam just stood back there and threw the ball. Now you see the next play, or after that play, literally, they do that play, and they're down to 5 seconds on the clock. Now, first of all, I don't know what's going on defensively here because 10 yards and you can try a field goal. Now, obviously, it's going to be a far field goal. It's going to be one that kicker probably can't make, but you could try a field goal. And to me, with 5 seconds, I'm running the same defense. Or, because you're not going to get out of bounds. And I don't know what the Ravens do here. The Ravens literally blitz every person, and they leave these 3 guys, and also there's just nobody over here. What in the, like, what engage? They ran engage 8. They ran quarters 3 deep, engage 8. So their safeties are all the way back here, and literally allowed the easiest completion in the world to Greg Olsen. Like, after running probably one of the smartest defensive calls that a defensive coordinator could have, they go ahead and rush. They literally just rush, like 5 seconds left. Not talking about, this is my point. Even if Cam was going to go ahead and say, I don't have enough time to get out of bounds, let me throw a Hail Mary. You rush 6 people. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you rush 5. So you have 6 people in coverage. Where are the 6 people in coverage? You don't see another soul on this field. If you're rushing 5, or you're rushing 6, so there's 5 people in coverage. This is, even if they do a screen to one of these 3 guys and get 2 blocks, they can get out of bounds. But they literally do not cover this guy. I mean, that's some stuff I would be sick if I was a Ravens fan. That's like, and this is literally, like I told you, after a play where they drop the entire team to stop a play like that, they come back and run that garbage. So I'd be furious. And the thing about it is, Gano comes and misses the field goal, boom. Or he makes the field goal, and now they're up 17 points. They're up a whole 3 possessions rather than being up 2 possessions. In Madden, you lost the game. You're up to 3 possessions at halftime, the game's over. Right here in the NFL, obviously the game's not over, but it's just devastating and just demoralizing for a team. As you can see, look at the sideline of the Ravens. Look at these guys. They're just as still as can be. Boom, get out of bounds, 2 seconds. Graham Gano kicks, what is this? A 54-yarder. Boom. Now it's 24-7 because you just called the ridiculous defense. And the Panthers go on to win this game easily. But the next one I'm going to show you, hope I can get this over here, these monitors, is in the Eagles game. Why is it so hard to do this? Boom, okay. This is the Eagles game. As you can see the score, we're sitting at 17-6. It's the 3rd quarter. There's a whole 20 minutes left in this football game. We talked about 2-point conversions last week. If you didn't check out that podcast, make sure you check it out below. It is in my YouTube archive, so you can check that out. That Was Needed podcast, episode 3. This is episode 4. We had talked about 2-point conversions, and we will continue to talk about 2-point conversions in the What Would a Man Player Do, because I can tell you I never, ever, ever, ever will go for 2 in a situation like this in the 3rd quarter. And I'll show you why right here, man. Because, boom, what you're going to have is, boom, okay, here we go. Blake Bortles actually throws a dot. For some reason, the Eagles run. That's another thing we'll get into about the terrible defense they call. So they get this touchdown. So, oh, yeah, we scored a touchdown, 17-6. Now it's 17-13. But no. Doug Marrone and the Jaguars say, let's go for 2. Because we want to make it a 3-point ball game in the 3rd quarter, not in the 4th quarter, in the 3rd quarter. With 20 minutes left in the game, we're going to go for 2 and try to throw this little hitch that, who is that? Russell Douglas wanted no parts of. So now, instead of being down 4, we're down a whole 5 points. And what happens here, fast forward the highlights, Carson Wentz, for some reason, got sacked there. I don't know why. And then we'll have Bortles. He'll, do a scrambling thing because he can't pass. So now instead of being down 4, you're down 5. Now, obviously, if they got the 2-point conversion, it'd be a little different story. But they didn't. So look at that guy fighting. Jeez. But anyway, so they get down here, and what's going to happen is they're going to get a field goal. DJ Shark fell on the ground. They're going to get a field goal. So now, here you see they got the ball right here, or they got their field goal. So now, instead of being down 1 point, they're down 2 points because they chased the point in the 3rd quarter, and they didn't get it because 2-point conversion is hard to get. They chased the point in the third quarter. Because of that, they're down 2 now. So you know what happens? The best team in the NFL, we go down, dot to Zach Ertz, bada bing, bada boom. The Eagles kick the extra point. Now, the dickhead Jaguars are now down 9 points. 9 points. And we know what 9 points is because we can count. 9 points is more than 8. Thus makes it a 2-possession game. Now the Jaguars need 2 possessions to go ahead and beat to tie the game up. And what happens is, they come down here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, what happens? My man Shark, I think, drops a touchdown. Yep, there it is right there. Shark drops a touchdown. 3rd and goal, he drops a touchdown. Boom. That would have made it. They would have cut it to 2 points. But they kicked their field goal now. So now they're down 6. Or they would have been down 5. Now that doesn't matter. Point was, if he'd have caught that touchdown, they would have had a chance to tie the game. Now, in that situation, you could argue go for 2. I would have went for 2 if it's this late in the game. In the third quarter, I would never go for 2. And that's pretty much, that's something I will just reiterate over and over and over with you guys, that I will not go for 2 early in the game. In the third quarter, it was way too early to go for 2 because it wound up really costing them to the point where they were down 2 possessions the whole second half. Even though they're sacking Carson Wentz and they get the ball back, they simply can't. They're down 1 possession here. I actually think the Eagles just end the game here. This is a rollout pass to Jordan Matthews, best quarterback in the league. Boom, that ends the game, and the Eagles can eventually, this gets a first down right here. They can run the ball out. But at the end of the day, I say all this to say, man, that third quarter going for 2 kept them chasing them points the whole game. Instead of being down 8, they were down 9. And that really made them press, really made them had to pass all the time, really made them had that sense of catching up. And even as a Madden player and as a real football team, man, that sense of catching up is something that could really hamper your offense. And, the Jaguars aren't a high-powered offense to begin with, so that sense of having to catch up and feeling like you're down so much really just laid on their back and really made them drop passes. And Blake Bortles is already below average, and to add that stress and that pressure onto him of being down that much was really something that hampered him. I feel like if you're a lesser team, or not saying that the Jaguars are lesser, but they did lose, but a lesser offense, you always just want to stay in the game as long as you want, man. Make the game shorter. Don't necessarily rely on 5 different possessions. Try to make it down to 3. Try to just keep yourself alive, and by going for 2 like that, it just put too much stress on their offense, man. So, like I said, between bad and the half defense not guarding the sidelines and going for 2, that's pretty much the 2 things that stood out for me this weekend in the What Would a Madden Player Do series, man. I hope you guys really like it. If there's something you guys want to hear me talk about as far as what a Madden player would do or what NFL coaches would do, different strategies, really just unique strategy that different teams use and that Madden players use, man, please put it in the comment section below. We'll really talk about that. We'll really get into that more, man, because it's really a segment I think we have a place in the NFL. We have a place in real football. We couldn't be coaches. We couldn't be offensive coordinator. We couldn't be a defensive coordinator because simply I don't know that much about football. But as far as game management, as far as, obviously time management, as far as challenges, as far as how much we value the time of the football game, it's something I feel like we really could help a real professional team, a college team, or even a high school team. It's something that we know very well, and it's something that we could implement into these teams. And this is just going to be a segment that I use to really show that and really communicate with you guys, because it's something, that can be second-guessed and something that can be really debated. And we're going to do that in this segment, What Would a Madden Player Do? So, like I said, anything you want to suggest that you want to talk about that you think you can do better than NFL coach, strategy-wise, time management-wise, game management-wise, please put it in the comments section. Please put it in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, week 8, Eagles 4-4. Got to keep on moving. Got to get back to the championship form. Texans Club Series this weekend. Make sure you guys tune in. You can check out that Twitch. I believe is EA Madden NFL. You guys know it. You'll all be looking for drops because they'll have drops to help your ultimate team. They'll give you a gold player. So if you need that Bruce Carter on your team, man, or you need that Josh Jones, or you really need that Rodney McLeod, man, you guys really check and get those drops, man. They'll get you 3 silvers and a gold for watching competitive Madden. So Saturday, I believe, probably 2, 4 p.m., whatever it may be, Get in there and get your drops. Muthead League, probably popping off this week. I will be streaming it. We'll be promoting that a ton. Excited to play some of the best Madden players in the world. This was Needed Podcast, episode 4. Check back next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. on my Twitch channel. Also, check out the YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the sub button. Tell me what you want to see on What Would a Madden Player Do. I really appreciate y'all. I'm out of here.
Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me,